think abstractly like this is a brick and mortar store. Like, what vibe are you hoping they're getting while walking through this store?
Welcome to Helium's Hot Air Show. This is episode 10. Brett Shelley is taking a break, and beside me, I have our lead UX designer, Mr. Brandon Wirth.
Helium's Hot Air Show.
As always, my name is Benjamin Thornburg, and I'm really excited, man. I'm excited about it. Thank you for doing this. I appreciate this.
You snuck one in on me. I was not expecting this. He told me that we were just having a design meeting in 20 minutes, and then I showed up, and here we are.
Here we are with the bright lights, big city. Here we are. I want to start by congratulating you first and foremost. We just Helium went through a major rebranding last year in 2025. And then this year we just launched new our website. Our website just got a major, and this is all Brandon Wirth's brain and design talents. If you want to take a look at that, heliumdev.com. Take a look at it, scroll through it. It's beautiful. Even the 404 page.
You got to go to the 404 page.
It's beautiful. I will link the 404 page in the notes. Congratulations to that.
Thank you.
It's fantastic. It's no small feat. And this is something really, really fun and might be foreign to a lot of people who are in e-com because they're obsessed with selling things. We've got a product.
You're always trying to sell stuff.
We're looking for a product market fit. We're obsessing over these different things. And the interesting thing, according to research, within 50 milliseconds of a person landing on a page, they will make a judgment on a site they've never visited before. And 94% of those impressions are design related. So design is
the blink test.
Yes. Boop. And I love it.
Blink and you'll miss it.
I think
trying to throw him off his game.
I think design is criminally underrated, especially in the e-commerce space. And so that's why I'm so excited to have you on. I want to pick your brain. I want to ask you a few questions, and I just want to hear from you. Since you've done so much work with branding, let's start there. Let's talk about negative. What makes a bad brand experience? You click on a site and it just fails.
Yeah. I mean, I think you brought up the blink test, and that is a huge component. As we like to say, we like to tell our children, don't judge a book by its cover, but we're constantly making these assessments in a blink of an eye. And there's just a lot of stuff that happens in e-commerce that can immediately just send somebody packing. You know, you just have seconds here. And so I think there's a lot of different things. There's like you called out that blink test of just, man, what is the first thing people see on your site? You know, I would say something people can do to kind of help in that regard is like go on your website or show it to a stranger, show it to a spouse, show it to somebody, and show it to them for 5 seconds. Just hold your phone in front of them for 5 seconds and then take it away and go like, what do I sell? And what's the vibe? Like, did you catch it? A blunder is, I think people can be way too samey. It seems like, you know, especially in the Shopify space, I see a lot of merchants kind of start with maybe the default theme, and they go like, okay, well, don't let this slow me down. I'll just use that default theme, get stuff set up, and then they maybe never come back to really change that theme. You're selling a templated company, not a brand. And so it's like, how can you make your brand stand out, not just this theme, this Shopify theme?
When I click on it, you're absolutely right. It's more than just, hey, we've picked a template, we plop stuff in, and it's done. That to me is very two-dimensional. When I go to a site, I'm removed from it. Anything that design-wise is on a next level is when I'm enveloped in it. I feel like I want to get in the screen when I'm in there, and that's an intangible. So I recognize that might not be the most helpful, but it is something to kind of keep in the back of your mind. Just saying, does this look like someone's trying to sell a template on Shopify, or is this an immersive experience where I feel like I can jump in there? That does take work. Let's talk about.
Well, can I jump in right there? I think, you know, the cardinal sin there. Don't be boring. Add color to it. Add an interesting font. Add your own voice to it. Be funny. Be rude. Be sassy. Do whatever, but don't be boring, because it's that boring. You might think that's actually making you seem more trustworthy or something, but I don't think that's the case for a lot of people. I think people will look at that and go, I don't know what separates this website from anything else. Even if you're using AI to help you build a website or whatever it is, like you still need a human pass through that to go, like, because AI is going to create something boring. Like it's going to scrape all the websites, all the popular stores, the Dawn theme again. It's going to take all of that and just do a porridge of everything that is popular. And you now need to take that and actually make it interesting, make it grab your attention.
Don't be boring. Just be bold. And I love that. The more that we learn about AI, it keeps getting promised as it will go above the middle or create things in new and awesome ways. But what we're seeing is it's actually very middling as far as things that it's a powerful middle, especially if you're underneath something, you know nothing about a subject or design or whatever. It'll get you to that middle with a click, very, very easily. But it's up to you to take that to the next level. And I think that's a great call out, not to just rely on it and say, well, AI says this is great, so we're good. As far as visual and emotional experiences go, which are things that still sell. You talked about getting a merchant to audit their site by either a loved one or friends or whatever. Are there other things that they can do to audit their site?
That 5-second test, just going like, man, what could you learn from this in 5 seconds? Showing that, taking it away from somebody, going, what do I sell? Is it a Goose t-shirt? Is it a whatever it is? Did you catch the vibe? Are you catching what I want you to feel when you go to my site? Are they experiencing that? That's definitely a major one. I think another one is a friction test. A lot of people are scrolling on their phones. They've got their double chin going. They're looking down here. Maybe they found you through an Instagram ad or these traditional funnels. And now they're on your website and you've got 17 spinning wheel discount offer things, or like they just can't even get to your product because there's friction. You're creating friction. You're making them fill out a form just right out of the gate before they can even just see how much that Goose t-shirt costs. It can almost be comical sometimes to go, I want to purchase this from you, online store, and you're making this hard for me. We can create our own friction in our online stores, and that can be a problem. Our phones are getting larger and larger, and you really should do a pass on your store of, can I access everything with one hand and with this thumb without having to do some sort of thumb war gymnastics to reach the top left corner for my cart? It's interesting, at Helium, we built some things in 2015, 2016 that nobody liked. We liked it, but one of those things we did was we built a theme that we brought up for the Shopify App Store, and we put the whole nav at the bottom of the screen. And no website was doing this at this point, and people didn't pick up on it. Right. But now that is like a standard in the industry, is people should be able to, because that's where your thumb can reach.
I think you're absolutely right. And that's something a lot of merchants maybe need to hear. If you're using these pop-ups to capture emails, to give out discounts, that's amazing. Definitely do that. But maybe dial that time back. There were 2 experiences I had this week online shopping. One was on a random site. They're both selling pickleball paddles. I know.
Don't do it, everyone.
So it's
bad for your health.
It's so good for you. So one of them was a site I won't mention because they were in the negative, and I clicked on that site and it was like, bam, do you want 10% off? And I was like, whoa, I haven't even decided if I like you guys yet. And the other one was 11/6/24, and they waited almost, I want to say 15 seconds. I was on page 3, totally committed to this and already sold on their product. And they were like, hey, would you like 15% off this product? And I was like, yeah, I'm already here. I've already been sold on this. Your site, your experience, your design, your branding has sold me on this product. It's already in my cart. And they're like, sweet, you want to give us your email address and your number and we'll give you 15% off. And I did. And their code worked right away. Really seamless experience. Fantastic. So I think you're right. So what are other trends in the design space that you are seeing?
I think bento boxes are everywhere. So that's like kind of designing in a grid. So I think, a lot of the time, whatever Apple does on their store, then we see kind of a cascading effect of everywhere. So kind of having these, little gridded off sections, but it keeps things a lot tighter. You get a lot more information and a lot less scrolling. There's also a really cool trend, and again, Helium did this in 2015. I won't say the name of the company because they are no longer in business. But it's telling a story through scroll. So maybe that's as you're scrolling through, your product is kind of opening or changing or shifting. So we had this with a wallet company, and the wallet would open and it would fan the cards out. It would show you. It'd kind of put these products on full display in a unique way rather than a static image. Let your product really do its own selling, really feature that in a big way. I think you bring up, those kind of, I'm seeing those spinning wheels, those pop-ups kind of go out of style. And I think a really good place for me now, and maybe even cuts to what you're saying too about that paddle site, is abandoned cart emails and reaching out in those sorts of ways, because we are using our phones so much more, but data-wise, we are still using our phones to window shop. Mobile drives 75% of the traffic to your store, but only 59% of the sales. People are still window shopping on their phone, going, okay, I think I want this. When I get to my computer, when I sit down later, I'll buy this. And I think that's when those abandoned cart emails can be really huge, rather than screaming, here's 10%. And you're like, whoa, settle down, stranger. Like, I don't even know if I want this. I'll give you an offer you can't refuse. It's just like, whoa, hey, like, actually let me want the product first. Let me begin to kind of process that and then offer that, and let that be the tipping point. Let that actually lead someone to a sale. A 10% right out of the gate I don't think is as effective anymore, especially because that market's kind of oversaturated. So to reach out in an abandoned cart then goes, oh, sweet, that's another nudge of like, when I sit down tonight, I forgot I was going to buy that Goose t-shirt or that Goose pickleball paddle. Maybe that's where we can meet in the middle.
Geese, yes.
Understanding your customer and their purchasing cycle. If you have are selling something that's very expensive, then you obviously, there's going to be a level in which you need those details. You need that product to do more storytelling. A 10% discount right up at the front actually screams that it's not a very good product in a way, or that you want to be classy. So class it up. Be classy.
Be classy. There's another tip. There's so many tips today. That's tip number 5, I think. Be classy. Tip number 5.
Don't be boring. Be classy. This is a lot of like dating advice too. I think this is basically a 1-to-1 online dating course as well.
I will dovetail that into a part of what you were saying with the wallet example. Mm-hmm. What I was hearing in that is, too soon, make them kind of earn their lunch. Everyone talks about friction, and absolutely get rid of friction, but there's this fine line between, if your design absolutely slaps, you're hitting everything correctly, you want to spend time on that site anyway, make them earn their lunch a little bit. I don't think that's going to work for every merchant, but if you're strong enough in your branding and you've done the research and you know that you have a few more seconds to get that, to unpack that, to reveal that image in slow motion there as you scroll down, go for it. Mm-hmm. Try it out. And if it doesn't work, you can always change it. But taking those risks and being bold and not being boring is more important than crossing off all these checklists of this is the way it's supposed to be. Because I think the trends that we're seeing in the e-commerce space is kind of this homogenization of things. Mm-hmm. as they're going very few times. And we'll post in our Slack the websites or the merchants that are getting it with their branding, with their design. We're always doing this because good design
Big ups, horrible chormbles.
Horrible chormbles. Let's go. Because good design speaks to something bigger, and we do crave beauty, and we always gravitate towards it. What are some do's and don'ts for AI design? AI design is here for good or for bad. It's here to stay. It's helping people. It's saving time. We're doing good things. What are do's and don'ts with that? Let's start with...
Big disclaimer. These are my thoughts.
fine print with
scrolling fine print. No. If you're a designer or you've been a designer, you know there have been a few eras of like our jobs are gone. You know, like I think the advent of kind of more and more people getting Photoshop and the Adobe suite was just like, now anyone can make a picture beautiful. The wave of Canva came out and people were coming up and just being like, yeah, so your job's like done, right? Like Canva's out, no one needs you anymore. And, you know, they have always, each of these iterations, I think have only really heightened the need for good design. That, like you said, that AI can do a great job of hitting the middle. And I think that's where AI in design and in your store should live. I saw somebody say, like, I want AI to do my laundry and my taxes. I don't want it to do the things that I'm passionate about. Like, I don't want it to take those things from me. And I think that's how we can treat it in the e-commerce space, is like, let it automate some stuff. Let it give you ideas for a section that maybe is missing on your website. Like, let it help you organize the SEO, really just squeeze the SEO juice out of your website, help people help you. Maybe you don't have as strong of a business background to understand that funnel and retention, those sorts of ideas. But then in the important things that are your voice, that are uniquely you, that are the things that get you up in the morning to sell whatever it is you're selling, like, keep that for yourself and figure out how to own that and use that voice, help that voice come through, because let AI do the unsexy stuff.
Final thoughts before we wrap up. There was one thing design-wise, and maybe it's more element-wise on a Shopify store that I think is forgotten, and I think it needs more time in the sun, especially in the age of globalization, not knowing who's who, even not knowing who's human online anymore. Talk to me about the About page and what it means in this current day and age.
Oh, we're talking so much about how little time you have, but I think, like you've said, like, reward them. If they're still with you, reward them, tell the story, use that opportunity to really solidify and connect. Warby Parker, I think, does a really good job, the glasses company, of kind of sharing what they're about, why they're about it, why you should purchase from them. If the customer actually, for some reason, is still on your website, is on your About page, is clicking, reward that curiosity. Use that opportunity to connect, to resonate, to go like, I feel like I know this person. This is e-commerce, but try and think abstractly like this is a brick and mortar store. Like, what would you want them to know about you? If they came in, were walking through the aisles of your store, how would you want them to have connected with you, with your business? What vibe are you hoping they're getting while walking through this store? And let that form kind of what your About page is. Let the front doors of this imaginary brick and mortar store be that hero section at the top of your home page. In all of those different ways, reward them for browsing.
I love that. Last question. Since this is Helium's Hot Air Show, we have the soul-searching deep questions.
Ooh.
At the end, and this one's especially for you. What concert would you attend in all of history, and why?
Oh, man, what concert? This might not count as a concert, but I think of the Beatles. They played on the roof. If I could be a fly on that wall, if I could have just seen, we just watched that documentary a little bit ago, and it's just crazy to see them just playing so well together. They're releasing this new music, blah, blah, blah. But it says, this little caption comes up and it says, this is the last live performance the Beatles will ever have together. And you're kind of watching going like, everything seems to be working for whatever reason. They're, the relationships and stuff, they couldn't keep it happening. So I'd want to be there. That would be cool.
Beatle rooftop concert.
Let's go.
Love it. Brandon, thank you so much for joining us. Really appreciate it. Really, really.
Don't forget to like and subscribe. Did I steal that from you?
No,
Well, don't forget.
Okay, we'll see you next time. Okay, bye.